Hello.
Hi, Danny.
Hi there. Tell me your name and where you're joining us from.
I'm Barbie and I'm joining from Barbie World.
Ba- Hi, Bobby. Nice to meet you. So sorry I couldn't watch your movie, but congratulations on all your success and thank you for making more money than Kashmir Files. Well done.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
All right, Bobby. Let's get
Mhm.
serious here. What would you
Yep.
like to bitch about?
Yes. So today I'm gonna bitch about my friends and that how I've stopped talking to them because they have become either racist or sexist and you know so basically that's the way I'm gonna go. And because in late 20s it's very tough to make friends, it's quite challenging, so now you cannot just leave them, so you have to go back to them, and now you're just stuck in a vicious cycle. So yeah, that's
So hang on a second. Your friends, your
hmm.
friend circle, all the people you used to hang out with and go for movies with and call up and gossip with have all suddenly become racist and sexist?
Yeah, and you know what, I don't think that it was a sudden thing. I think just did not see it coming. Like I knew that they had in them, but they were not
Uh-huh.
out and loud. But I think with all of this, whatever is happening, they're now out and loud and they're more vocal. So I think that's what's happening.
Oh damn. So basically you had a nice friend circle around you hanging out growing up and you guys did all the things that people normally do. And now with the way the world has become polarized, especially with whatever's happening in India, suddenly they have found more courage to be more brazen with
Yeah,
their racism and sexism, you said?
perfectly defined. Yes.
Ah, okay. So you've stopped talking to all of them now.
So I've distanced myself from them. And I mean, it's quite difficult to just stop talking to them all of a sudden. But now, I don't hang out with them that much. I don't communicate with them. And so, even they are asking me that what happened, you don't message, you don't come, you don't hang out. And I cannot just say to their faces that you're a racist bitch. But I was like, I have work or I have something else. And so I think with,
But why not? I think it's perfectly okay to tell someone to their face that you're a racist bitch. Yeah.
yeah, I
More people should do that. I think we should all go through our friend list every day
yes.
and just see who we haven't called a racist bitch yet, if they're being a racist bitch.
Yes.
But tell me
Hmm.
something. Well, how long have you known these guys?
So they are like basically some of them are my college friends and some of them are my colleagues. So, we are like
Okay.
work in office and all, but all of them, I've known them, for at least 3 to 4 years. So I know them well,
And two groups of people from
Hmm.
uh, your college, and then separate group of people from your office. Am I
Hmm.
right?
Correct. Yes.
And then suddenly they're racist and they're sexist.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you work for the IT cell by any chance, or is this like a regular
Yeah,
job that pays more than 2 rupees?
yeah, I'm a corporate slave, by the way. But I would love to work for the IT cell, like come on, who doesn't want to work
But you'll
for IT?
find your friends only over there,
Yeah, such a great thing to say, right? So that I won't be
and
like,
then you'll have to tell them every morning that they're
yeah,
a racist bitch,
yeah, like that will be like a,
which you currently lack the
yes,
courage to do.
I like that.
Okay, so fine,
Hmm.
fine. This is of course an interesting predicament because all of
Hmm.
us have kind of suddenly woken up and realized, hey, some
Yeah.
of our friends are not who we thought they were for whatever reason, and for you, surprisingly, it is all your friends.
Yeah, I mean,
Or is it
hmm.
the case that maybe you were also racist and sexist, but then suddenly you changed in the last couple of years and you're just like, hey, I can't hang out with these people, or were you always like a normal person?
Yeah, so you just turned the guns at me now. But let me tell you something. So I was raised in an environment where nobody specifically told me that, hey, you know what, this particular set of community is good and that is bad. So because I never like, not my parents, not my in not no one in my family, and no one was there like to just separate these or have polarized view. Everybody was like, hey, until and unless a person is good, you don't need to worry about anything else. But I think
So you were raised in a very liberal environment that was welcoming
secular,
and
yeah,
loving
yeah,
towards all groups of
yeah,
people, right? And
exactly.
then where did you meet these friends, in school or college?
Yeah, so some of them I met in college, and at that time, when I, so specifically my college group, right? They are not bad people. I think they are just getting more influenced, and also because they are not reading credible sources, or they're just maybe they're watching lot of reels and YouTube shorts, and they're not verifying the information. Maybe that's why. But the colleagues, they are literally like dark. They're like the shady people, like, and that's tough because when you move out of college and you join a job, right? So there, that's where you need people, to share your thoughts with, and you just want to support, right? And suddenly, if you see a very negative side and just people just straight up saying racist thing to your face, you're like, what is happening? You're just taken aback. So I'll
So
give
you're
you an
saying your friends were,
hmm,
sorry, you're saying your friends were like regular folk like you,
yeah.
who were apparently quite liberal, and then
Hmm.
suddenly with the influence of the internet maybe and social media, you feel that they kind of tend to absorb more polarizing views and kind of gravitated towards that political leaning.
Exactly.
So they were influenced. It's not who they really are.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and that's the reason why I became friends with them in the first place, because otherwise I would have saw that coming.
And then what did they start doing? You were saying you wanted to give me an example or something.
Yeah.
So what where did you see this happen?
Yeah, so I'll give you an example of one of my colleagues. So I think that she is all and all racist, but at the same time, she's not a bad person. Like she'll not throw a stone at a dog or something like that. But I'll give an example. So we both were taking a little walk after the lunch, and we both were discussing about this thing that happened in our country. Like everybody was very they were just mourning about it, and everybody was sad that what happened. I just don't want to get into the details, but it was a really bad thing that happened, right? So we were just discussing, so saying, oh, it's very bad, and the culprits should be put behind bars and everything. And this girl all of a sudden just say that, you know what, I don't think that the person that they're saying is the accused is the real accused. I think people are plotting against him because he is from a certain religion and this and that. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's all out there. People know this, it's been proved, and this and that. And what really stuck me at that moment is that this woman is ready to defend a criminal or any, culprit just because the victim is of a different religion. And I was like, dude, that should not happen, irrespective of who they are and what their faith they belong to. Justice needs to be served, and you cannot just take sides because, and you cannot suddenly change that. Oh no, it's all planned. I mean, if what if the accused would have been from a different religion? What would have said the same thing and all? So I was like, and from that point onwards, I just stopped having any kind of conversations with her. I was like, she's not gonna listen to me, so whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
and
And what about your friends from college?
yeah, so my friends from college are, so basically I'm not very close to them. Like I'm not in good touch with them. But whenever I see their stories or whenever I see, I follow them on social media, of course, which I shouldn't, but I do. So they share all these, very particularly influenced posts and all. And so when I comment on that or when I reach out to them that did you verify this information, did you looked into it, they send me like a video or like a reel or like a short, and I'm like, is that what your whole proof is? Like you're just watching like a 90-second reel and you're believing on it. And then share them some podcast link or some documents or something like, and they don't read it, like they don't bother to read it. They're just like, I don't care what the real truth is, I'm going to align with my ideologies, because apparently they just, I don't know, they're polarized or what. So they just, their source of information is YouTube, Instagram, or maybe Twitter, or things like that. Their source of information is not like a, I mean, of course, news channels are. What can you say about them? But well, It's
Yeah,
strange.
but which is like 90% of the people on the internet. Let's not act like the left is also
Yeah,
very forward in that sense that they are doing their fact checking and research. It's
right,
just the
right.
nature of the beast now. We're consuming our news from places like Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, and again, no matter who is telling you the news, I always have this rule that don't believe anything that is said on the internet by media houses,
Mhm.
the government, or anybody. Nobody's ever telling you the real truth. So that's the big that's the difference. And yeah, a lot of people are watching stuff on their phones and deciding how they're going to vote or how
Yeah.
they're going to treat their people around them. And now I think when I was in my 20s, this
Mhm.
wasn't a thing. We weren't
Mhm.
polarized. Social media was just about setting up, so everybody just got along. We never thought about life along the lines of what religion my friends follow, or how we should treat somebody else based on what their background is. And so I think that's something that you're probably witnessing with your generation, where suddenly you're realizing, hey, I have shitty friends, or I'm a shitty person. So I think that's going to probably happen a lot more with you guys than with us. So because by the time you get to your 30s, um, most of us are really settled with our social groups. Like we've made the friends that we've had to make. Like, and I always believe it's very important to have like a quality circle of friends rather than quantity. So like, the smaller the better. So I have my innermost circle is a small group of like 15 people, not too much, but it's nice that we are all kind of aligned in terms of how we treat each other, how we treat other people around us. We are of different backgrounds and religions, but we get along, dude. Like, so with
Uh,
you in this situation,
hmm.
why have you not just told your friends, you guys are assholes and I don't hang out with you?
Yeah, like, so, I'll give you another example where I confronted, one of my friends. So this is a story of how they were just being sexist towards me. I mean, I'll tell you the story, you decide if they were really being sexist. So what happened is that
Mm-hmm.
my colleagues, we were hanging out at a club, but it was not like a party club. It was not like the alcohol. It was more like a fun and games kind of club. So we all were sitting and we were just having dinner, and one of my male colleague, he's also my friend, right? So he said something to me extremely, like, very very bad remark, like I cannot even repeat it. Okay, and I was just
What's the
shocked.
point of telling me this story if you're not going to repeat it?
It was like a
You
sexual
told me,
remark, so
hey,
I
yeah,
yeah.
you told me, look, I'm going to tell you what he said. Tell me if it's sexist, and then you're like, I can't tell you. Like, what's the point of gossip then?
So I cannot tell you that particular remark because that's like really uh and to be very honest, I actually forgot. But so let me just complete the story, okay? Maybe I'll just tell you.
Huh.
Yeah. So he said something very offending, okay? And I was just shocked. He said this to me in front of all my colleagues. Like, there were like ten people from our work, and he said this to me in front of all of them. So I was like, what is happening with this guy? And all the guys in that group were laughing. Like, they were not laughing at, like, openly, but they were just giving like a nasty smile, like that kind of thing. And all the girls in that group, they were like, oh, it's not good, whatever, but nobody speak up, okay? And then I was like, okay, so no one's going to do anything, I'm going to take a stand for myself. So I put some water in a glass and I threw it on his face. And he
Okay.
was he was laughing, to be very honest. Okay, he was like, oh, what happened, what's wrong with you, whatever. And my so all the guys in that group were again laughing with him, so because they knew that if a guy would say something like this to a girl in front of a crowd, she's gonna do this. So guys were like, yeah, you bring it to you, right? But all the girls, they were like, what are you doing? Are you should not do this? Yeah, he's just joking. He's your friend, whatever. And I was like, what if he would have said this to you, bitch? I would have taken your side, okay? And And okay, fine, you don't want to take my side, that's fine. But you saying that I was wrong in my retaliation, you were like, oh, you should just laugh with him. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna laugh. Okay, so we were heading back to our home, and one of my friends, so she calls, so she says, by the way, that she's my best friend. I never call her my best friend, okay? So she said that, you know what, you shouldn't do this because he's such a nice guy and he was just joking, but you were just acting all uptight and all. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with you. We are not friends from now onward, and I'll not talk to you and whatever. So she was just like mad at me for I don't know what, why are you mad at me? And cut to after a year, we are again talking to each other, and she's like, you know about that guy, he just stopped talking to me all of a sudden. It was my last day in the office, and he didn't even come to me and like say me goodbye or anything like that. And he just suddenly stopped talking to me, and I was like, yeah, you deserve that. Because and I was like, hey, who is your friend right now, me or that guy that you were taking side, huh? So the thing is that even if you confront people, what is the point? They're gonna be mad at you and you're gonna be left alone. So after that one, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I was just, I don't know. I guess I don't talk to her as frequently, but so that's the point. They never accept their mistake. Like, and even if they do, they would just like make you the wrong person. They would be like, yeah, you did something bad, so and I just don't want to do that. I just hate that whole confrontation process where you have to uh, just be in the guilt all the time that, hey, I must have did something wrong, and like that.
I think you just need to quit your job and leave the country.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree.
like I don't know. I mean, see, I'm not. I'm like, and I'm not even saying it. Leave the country in the same way like a right winger would say, leave the country if you don't like what's going on. But it just
Yeah,
seems like you're surrounded by really shitty people.
you know what,
Have you
Danny?
ever thought of leaving Barbie Land? Maybe Barbie Land is a shitty place with really shitty people that you need to let go of and just find a better space that you can thrive in. Like, have you
Hmm.
were you born and brought up in Barbie Land?
Yes, yes, and I love
You've
my
never lived
Barbie land.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right. But the Barbie land that you live in right now just
Hmm.
sounds like a really shitty place where people
Yeah,
are just
it does.
racist, sexist, and like you are hurling you're hurling water in your colleagues' faces. Like maybe like
And
expand your horizons, book a
and
ticket, and just get the fuck off.
so the worst part of this story is that I apologized to him because all my friends were making me feel bad. They were like, "Hey, you know what? You did wrong. Go and apologize to him." So I immediately called him after that.
No, I'm just like very, very curious. I just want to know like how in a group of people, like I've never seen such brazen
Yeah.
dumbassery. Like where okay, even if you're with the whatever
Hmm.
leaning you may have, right,
Hmm.
and then but there's enough and more conversation going on around workplace harassment, sexual harassment,
Yeah.
etc., etc. There's enough of that happening whether you're on the left or the right. You
Yeah.
know that this is something that is pissing people off. How women are treated is coming under the scanner a lot, and you're telling me that this guy said something to you, you splash water in his face, and the women are still up asking you to apologize. Like which
Hmm.
village is this that they don't have the internet, they don't have water, they don't have electricity, that they're so backward in their thinking? I really want to know what this guy said.
Yeah. I'll tell you what he said. But if he's watching this, then I'm done. Okay.
Nobody watches this podcast. This is just for me, don't worry. This is just for
it's
my
just
own,
it's just our people.
like
Yeah.
because yeah, just our people. I'm just bored, I have nothing to do, so I sit in my studio and I record this podcast. Trust me, like not watching this.
Yeah, yeah. So he basically, first of all, he was, joking and all, right? And suddenly he said that he was eating something, right? It was like a very nice dish that he was eating. So he said, you know what? I like this dish so much, but we have to eat it here, right? We cannot take it back at home. Maybe you can put it in your underwear. That way we can just take it and maybe, eat that.
Whoa! Whoa! What? Like, oh my god, oh my god, he said that.
Yeah. So do you think that I was right, like throwing it
You
was
need to resign. No, you need to throw water on your face and put your papers down if these are your colleagues. Like, I'm not even kidding. Just you need to splash some water on your face now.
wake up?
You
Yeah.
are, oh God, yuck. Yeesh. Oh. I'm sorry, Bobby. I don't know what to say to you except that you
Hmm.
really need to make like some changes in your life. If this is your workplace, if this is how people in, what's the name of the no, I can't even ask you the name of your
Don't ask me.
organization. Like, is it a Fortune 500 company? Is it like what is it, like a chai ka dukan? What is it?
So the good part is that I left that organization 2 years
Oh
ago.
fuck! Thank
Yeah.
God. Okay, and tell me you joined an organization that has some culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, it has some culture, and nobody's gonna talk about my underwear here. So that way, I'm fine.
Okay, and how are the people over here?
They're pretty respectful, but they're still racist and they're still sexist. But they're more hidden. Like they
So
do not.
everybody you're meeting is racist and sexist. You are not meeting any people who are not
Yeah, yeah, I
racist or
do, I do,
sexist.
I do meet those people. So yeah, there are people who
Okay,
actually.
so right. So you're not every person,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is that your love language? Is that your love
yeah.
language, racism and sexism, where all the people that you want to be friends with end up being these kind of people?
You
So
know.
like I'll tell you where
Hmm,
I'm at. I'll tell
hmm.
you where I'm at.
Okay.
Okay, I'm at a space where I'm very clear about where I stand on the grand scheme of things. I'm clear about what I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with, and if I'm in a social setup where somebody's saying something or behaving in a manner that I'm not okay with, I just remove myself from that situation, or I remove them from that situation. And if I have to tell them, I will tell them what it is. But like, it's been a very long time since something like that has happened, because of the fact that I'm so particular about how filter my social circle, and which I'm guessing most people are. We're all very picky, right? It's kind of the same like being in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, is you're looking for certain traits in their personality and the way they treat people, and it has to be the same with your friends. So.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, now I have few good friends who are
Mhm.
a little more liberal, a little more secular, and even if they're not, they're willing to change themselves. Like they are ready to, uh, you know, accept whatever anomalies they have and work on it. And it's the same thing I also do.
That's good to hear.
Uh,
That's good to hear. Because honestly, between you and me, I
mm.
don't feel like I have the energy to explain things to people. Like,
Yeah,
here's the thing that makes me so sad, right? Like, everybody always assume with the internet
yeah,
that the world will become a nicer place or better place because we all have access to information. Like, unlimited resources of information at your fingertips, and you would assume that somebody, who's a little smart would take the effort to just understand the world around them, understand if they read a headline, go, read up about the particular issue and not just form an opinion based on a headline, understand a situation, etc., etc., understand where you need to be empathetic, understand where you need to treat people right, or understand where you need to kind of like just be a nice person. And I remember saying this on my first podcast. You started it as well long a few years ago. I always said this, that life will give you many opportunities to not be an asshole. Take them. And
yes,
I kind of then found that even when it comes to my social circle, I've
mm,
always kind of been drawn to certain kinds of people. And I'm happy to say that
yeah,
um, a lot of my friends, I think all of my friends, kind of stay within the lines when it comes to coloring, right? They stay within the lines, and once in a while, yeah, we all say dumb shit, but like, no, I wouldn't ask any of my friends to carry food home in in their undies. Yeah, like, and for that guy to even think that this was funny.
I think he said this to insult me, but well,
I mean, it's a joke that doesn't even make sense, in the sense
yeah,
that,
it
like,
doesn't even match. Yeah.
what could you like parcel in a pair of undies? And like nothing. A samosa, maybe that's the
Unhygienic.
most ergonomically shaped food item. But
Hmm.
yeah, nah. So now you have new friends.
Yeah, I have new friends, but just the other day I met another guy and he
Uh-huh.
turned out to be a big time casteist. So, so like, but good that I avoided him. Now I'm not talking to him anymore. So,
I think what you should do is just build your social circle one person at a time. Like, just be
yeah,
friends with one person, see how they do for 6 months, then make friends with another person. And then if they're okay, you keep them on, you sign them on, put them on probation, see
definitely.
how they do for 6 months. And then after the six
Exactly.
month period is up, then confirm them as a full time friend.
Oh
And
my
you
God,
you
you're a
you
savior.
you know do an appraisal every year on year. You should all appraise each other, see how racist you'll have been, how
Oh my
sexist you'll have been,
God.
etc., etc. Do a rating scale of 1 to 5 and see what score everybody ends up with, and then you decide who you need to keep and who you need to cut off.
Sounds like a plan, dude. I'm gonna do that. Exactly.
But it's good that you've done something that it's so important for people to
Yeah.
do, is just cut people off. Like, it's so healthy to cut people off. Like, I was telling another friend the other day, there are everybody in your life is either a flower or a weed, right? And your social circle is kind of metaphorically a garden in its way, that you tend to, right? So you decide who you let in, you decide who you keep out. And then when you look at your friend circle, do you see a lot of flowers or do you see a lot of weeds? And if you are seeing too many weeds, you need to cut those out and replace those weeds with flowers. So I'm guessing your, social garden, so to say, was full of weeds, which you either burned down or cut away, and now
Yeah.
you have a couple of flowers. And honestly,
Mm.
Bobby, I'll tell you, like, if you have one good friend and hopefully maybe a second after that, you're good.
Yeah, I
That should
agree.
do, invest your time and effort into that. Because in the 20s, we've all been there. The same thing happened to me as well. In the 20s, we're all about, we want to fit in, we want to be popular, we want to be liked, we want to be validated by the people around us. So we'll do a little extra to get that validation, right? Except now that little extra has become maybe hurling a religious slur, or denigrating a woman by saying something really sexist. And everybody kind of joins in, and they're like, oh, it's just a joke, because we all want to feel part of a group. We all want to feel like we belong somewhere. Except maybe these people don't realize that they can belong somewhere better, which is probably what you did. And now you've got new friends. Am I right?
Yes, yes, you are absolutely right. And this thing that people do, right, to just fit in, I hate it. I don't know what to say. Like, it's okay if you don't fit in, also. That's also fine. Like, everybody's different. And what is this?
But who's going to
Like,
tell people that
hmm,
it's okay to fit in is such a wonderful thing to say, and it is absolutely true. Sorry, it's okay to not fit in is such a nice thing to say, and it's absolutely true. But we've been conditioned to be part of something bigger, right?
exactly.
We've been
Hmm.
conditioned to ignore the self. We've been conditioned to serve others. Or we always have to, we have to fit in with the family, we have to fit in the classroom, we have to fit in college, we have to fit in at the office. It never stops. uh, so very few people have that kind of realization and common sense to go, hey, I don't think this is the right space for me and I need to get out. And most people don't do it. They put up with shitty behavior from people around them. They look the other way, they make excuses, they say, because I guess it's easier to say that, oh,
Hmm.
this person was
Correct.
just joking, than to confront the person and
Confront.
say,
Hmm.
hey, draw a line and say this is not okay. So it's cool in a way that you've understood that, if something isn't for me, I'm going to get the hell out of it. So good on you.
Yeah, good on me for being alone. Yeah.
Why are you alone? You made new
Yeah,
friends,
I
right?
made few friends. Yeah, that's true. But see, the
But
thing
like,
that you were saying, right, that people are so conditioned to fit in, like maybe I'm somewhere also like that, that, maybe I'm not.
so what do you feel you're conditioned to do?
Yeah, so initially I was also like that, I was a people's pleaser. I would be like, yeah, it's fine, it's cool. I remember that I was sitting at a cafe and there was this girl who came up and she said, can I smoke here? And I was like, yeah. And then she literally started smoking, and I'm not a smoker, right? So what I should have done is I should have asked her, no, please don't smoke here. I'm sitting and whatever. So I just quickly finished my tea, like it was a hot tea, and I finished and I just, you know, I got off. Like instead of confronting her and saying that, no, please don't smoke or whatever, I was like, yeah, what a stupid thing to do. Why did I not say anything? Maybe again, I don't know.
And now you don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Now, if you
I
don't
don't,
like
I don't.
something,
Yeah.
you tell people that, listen, I'm not okay with this. Can you please go do it somewhere else?
Yes, yes, I definitely do that, and it's a
Nice.
better thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Well done. Not bad at all. But why did you say you still feel alone though?
Because yeah, Danny, you tell me, why do I still feel that? Just, I
Like
know
everyone's
when.
craving for a
Mm,
connection. Okay, so like we are nothing if we are not connected to other people. Like I like my alone time. I like having these phases where I'm by myself and I do things that I enjoy doing, and I can walk around naked and all of that. You know what I mean? Like just that safe space to just be you without having to please anyone. I enjoy those moments a lot, but I also find that it's very important for me to have those moments where I'm connecting with my friends. I mean, I'm connecting with people around me. So when you are not alone, you can connect with certain types of people, right? You can connect with your friends, your partner if you're dating somebody, or your family. Usually, it's these three key groups of people. So everything good on the family front for you?
yeah, in fact, just to add on this, I think that my parents are also kind of my friends. I've realized this just now, that that like I
Yeah,
share them my photos and they like, and then they share some photos and I
yeah,
like, and I'm like, hey, that's cool.
yeah.
So they're
That's
my
cool,
friends
yeah.
now.
So
Yeah.
like I said, so when you turn away from that, I don't want to be by myself phase. When I want to be around people, so when you turn to family, you have family you can hang with and chill and have a good conversation with. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
you
especially
do.
my
Do you
parents.
have
Yeah.
exactly? So that's a great thing. So do you have like one or two friends you can always call up and be like, hey, what's up? How was your day? And then you guys just tell each other about things that are going on in your life, and you maybe laugh a little, or maybe
Mm.
you encourage each other to do better. Do you have that?
So I have
Do you have at least
one.
one person?
Yeah, that one person I have.
That's so you're doing well. You're doing well. Do you have a
Yeah.
partner you can confide in? Share a space with or be in love with. Do you have that?
No, I don't have that.
Good. Then that means you're a normal person. Nobody has a partner that they can share a loving space with and have a great time. Okay. It's everyone's struggling on that front. But if you actually look at it that way, you're doing fine. You're doing all right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
me.
need to like wash off this
Yeah,
stench of
I
the
need to.
people who you didn't need around you, which you got rid of.
Yes, yes.
And again, like, don't hesitate to remove yourself from a certain situation or say out loud that you are not okay with something, because um, it's important for your well-being more than others. It's important to be a certain amount of selfish and be like, you know what, this is not for me. And it doesn't have to be anything extreme like the kind of stuff that people said to you at the office. It can even be something that's not too bothering for somebody else, but if it bothers you enough, remove yourself from the situation. And I think like getting to a place where you don't care about what others think about you is so important for that to happen. When you don't care anymore about anybody else's opinions, about what they may think, and you put yourself first, it is easier to stand up for yourself. So maybe going forward, I feel like you're somebody who doesn't care anymore, or doesn't care as much as she used to a few years ago. Am I right?
Yeah, you are right. That's true.
So that's good. So you keep holding on to that feeling. Stop caring about everybody else's opinion. Stop caring about trying to fit in. Understand and define a space that you are comfortable in, and only let people who validate that space in. Only let those kind of people in, and the rest keep out, because we are not going to live long enough to change everybody's opinions. We can try explaining things to people, we can try reasoning with them, but I personally feel that with the kind of backgrounds we all have, we've all gone to school, we've all gone to college, we all have access to the internet. There is enough at a person's disposal to make an informed decision and be a decent human being. You don't need me to come and tell you how to be a decent human being, and I shouldn't expect anybody else to tell me the basics of being a decent person. So if I see that this is someone that does not get it, I would rather just cut them off than try and um, make them change. And I know that may sound a little myopic and pessimistic, but it works for me, because I genuinely think life is too short. All of us don't have enough time, and we should only be spending the time that we have doing things that make us happy, along with um, with people who also enjoy doing those things, and then we all die. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. Very well put. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. That was a fun bitchy session, and it's nice to see you kind of find yourself in that situation where people are
Yeah.
shitty around you, then you realize, okay, this is not good, and then you walked out, and you made new friends. So you are now
Mm.
officially a gardener. You are
Yeah.
tending to the flowers, you are removing the weeds, and you are making sure that your social garden will eventually bloom the way you
Bloom
want it to.
forever. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so
so
beautiful.
keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Yeah, and just keep and every time you interact with somebody, every time you make a new friend, you know exactly how you need to be.
I know
And
the
on that
process.
note,
Yeah.
yes, you do now. On that note, Bobby, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
I
you.
hope this was fun for you, as it was for me.
Thank you so
All
much.
right,
Yeah.
my pleasure. I look forward to seeing you at a live show someday. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye bye.